Just going to go over price action. Didn't really trade Thursday and took Friday off. Obviously, I wasn't feeling too great from something I ate here in Thailand. So just going to cover some a nice short from Friday and maybe the higher time frame. Maybe what's going to happen next week. But we got this break of structure here, and after a break of structure, you can anticipate a pullback, and you want to look at the medium time frames to see that, and then see if you have anything in the leg that stands out to you, premium of the leg. Something that it's swept liquidity, caused a break of structure, blah blah blah. But I said already, there was nothing looking standing up to me within this leg, and the medium time frames didn't show anything. So how could you see that you're going to get a pullback? Say this high got taken, this low here, put in a high. So then we have a low, a high, so we're starting to make higher highs and higher lows. Then we can anticipate this is when the pullback is starting to happen, and the 4 hour is pulling back because we're breaking structure to the upside and demand is holding. However, we didn't get this on the medium time frames, and another short presented. So just trying to follow the order flow, and this low here that put in a high is then being broken, showing it may still have bearish intentions. Even though it is low in the leg, we didn't get the 15 minutes showing that it was going to be pulling back just yet, and we, supply is starting to show that it's in control, still in control, even though demand has tried to come into the market, or buyers, sorry. We have this POI here, it's been respected. So this demand level, this POI has been respected, and then this candle was, buyers had come into the market, but they got overpowered by sellers, and then this is where sellers come in. You could see this massive impulse here. So we have the sweep of liquidity of the next candle, where buyers try to come in. So this POI was the last point where sellers come in, after buyers trying to come in. And then we know, like, after a market shift, if the intentions are right and we're on the right side of the market, after a market shift, normally what follows is a break of structure, and we get a market shift here after the last point of demand, and then followed by the low that put in the high has been broken. And the third thing that we need to see, is it in premium of the leg, and it is the most recent leg, yes, and from the highest point to the lowest point, yes. So just going to jump to the lower time frames, but don't know if that would be too much. And obviously our 50-minute POI isn't hit yet, so this is, for the impatient and the early sellers, likely going to be getting swept. We've not even tapped it. Myself also, I do take trades when it's clean from the initial tap, but I obviously like to see the initial tap getting run, and then the move goes, But this is after a liquidity sweep of early sellers. And yesterday's video I went on, talked about, the demand wasn't that clean, but you can see from here. In fact, let me go through something. When I still do backtest my entries, this is how I would do it. I'd find price action when I know the direction. I'd look at the the supply and demand interactions, and I would play price like this and try and build it into my subconscious as much as possible, and I would follow. I feel like building into the subconscious, you want it to play out in your favour. You want your brain to understand the candles and what's happening, and this helps build it into your subconscious, getting it a bit, more automated, and you start to feel the intuition of it happening and price action develop, and your brain's like, oh, this is your edge playing out, and it starts to, your subconscious really starts to understand it a bit. I feel like this is the best, rather than trying to backtest a whole month and maybe taking your L's and seeing mistakes. You're maybe letting your subconscious see the wrong things. So this is how I backtest my entries over and over and over, just to try and build good habits and let the brain see what's going on. So I'd be doing it slow. I'd be like, right, this is my lowest point. I need to see a market shift, and then literally not fast at all, and just talking through it. Okay, this is the supply chain maybe happening. This highs went. This goes right. This goes. So I'm going to. This starts to look like it's the edge, and then I would just go through it like this and back test like this. But let's keep going through this. Try and keep the video as short as possible. So I like to trade from the edge. This sweeps this liquidity. However, we have had two mitigations here, so I'm going to follow the supply chain. And on the previous video, when I said this low put in this high is now broken, so we've had a low or high, so we're making high highs and higher lows, and now that fails. And I said yesterday, this is what I mean by demand being clean. Sell to buy, engulfing candle. This is clearly the low that puts in this high is now taken, it's broken, demand is in control. Now supply is in control from here. This is a clean, last point of demand. And you have your low, we have our high, our low, our high. This demand here tries to push up to make a new high, and then it's failed. So we're going to trade from the supply that made the demand fail. But we also, I don't like to trade low in the leg. There's exceptions. I like to trade from here, the extreme of the leg, but we are starting to build a supply chain. So this is when I would, trade from here. And we need liquidity to take on entry. So this is where I would want to be getting this be swept. Of course, you can use this. And I've been trading a lot with 4 pips. And I used to trade like this, enter here. It'd be a set limit though, and I wouldn't get tagged, but now I mark execute, so it's okay. But I would a few pips off here, and then I seem to not seem to fix the problem. But here, as long as my high is coming here, this is a conservative. For your stop loss to be over here, this is aggressive, but this is what I was, as long as my stop loss was covering the POI that I was playing. And my 1 to 5. So we have the low, high, a low, a high. We failed to put in a new high, a high. Now we have new structure on the lower time frame. A low, lower low, lower high, lower low. We're looking to catch the lower high to put in the new lower low. Pretty clean shot. And yeah, let's go to the higher time frame. And we've said, on videos before, other recaps, this is following the order flow, and this is why we wait for the medium time frames to align with the higher time frame. We had a 4-hour demand zone, 15 minutes showed bullish intentions, but went over here that never showed, but it did show here. And this is when you'd be taking longs, following order flow. And we always knew from the higher time frame perspective, we're in between this higher time frame range, this swing high and swing low. So we don't want to confirm a bearish trend change until this goes. Some people like to wait for the second one, because a lot of the time it will take the liquidity from the low and then push higher. And we said in previous videos as well, we never know exactly what's going to happen, but we can build a story every time we come to the charts. There's a chance we're going to take the highs, sweep this liquidity, take the lows, sweep this liquidity, and then the move goes. This is the next point of liquidity, and this is why this is a swing low, the lowest point that put in the high, and obviously all this liquidity to take on entry. Reasons why there's been such a strong reaction from here, but you can still trade this order flow all the way down. This is still, following pro trend. However, trying to understand the higher time frame for next week, we are still in between the higher time frame range. So I wouldn't really be trying to short from here. You don't know, but I'd most likely say that price is going to come through here, because if we follow liquidity has been taken from here. So why is price not continued up? It's taken all the liquidity from here. Now price has come down, it hasn't broken this structure. Where's the liquidity? It's liquidity here to fuel the move. NFP, fuel the move, and there's going to be sellers here. this is the last point. We've sold, taking these highs. I'm going to take these highs. I'll be interested to see what happens next week. And yeah, we're still in this higher time frame bullish leg, so just going to try and follow the order flow. Try and wait for the 4 hour 50-minute to align if you're unsure. And let me show with, actually, you know, when we do, a lot of the time, if you are following, you know, price action, we break this structure, we get a pullback, but you're obviously on the medium time frames to try and get it to line up, also anticipating a pullback once you break structure. Obviously this breaks, but prices, don't know if this is a news release, we break this structure, we get some kind of pullback. You know, every time structure breaks, you do get a pullback, but you're looking at the medium time frames to try and confirm it. Here, structure, you know, breaks, you get a pullback here, structure breaks here. But just trying to align the time frames, looking at the higher time frames, and if you're not too sure what's going on, it's the best time just to be patient. No one knows exactly what's going on 100% of the time. Just trying to stick to our rules. Have set rules for structure, for your edge, and just execute when you see it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that video, and yeah, we'll break this structure pullback. I don't know if I said that one, but it happens a lot, even on, you know, every time frame. You seem to break structure. We break structure here. This pulls back. This is where obviously we failed to put in this low. This structure breaks. We pull back here. But yeah, just go over our price action, see what you can dig out, back test, get the entries. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and looking forward to next week.